about wraps up today's tour. After seeing everything, what do you think? You're only realizing that now. That's your greatest advantage in joining the Phantom Moon Games. A story that's already spread far and wide. Indeed, rather than the power to rule this world directly, that individual draws even greater strength from Perlux. The stories and dreams spun by this enterprise are capable of steering the future of Planarcadia and of serving as the cradle for new imaginae. Madame Pearl is waiting for you at the top of this building to discuss matters regarding the Phantom Moon Games. Let me give you a little reminder. The rules of Phantom Moon Games have never required any competition between supplicants. As an IPC employee, I've said far too much. Your friends are waiting for you in the hall. You should go meet up with them. Don't keep them waiting too long.
Apparently, we can view the grayscale. But why is the flagship store expensive than the distributor?
The kittens are gonna eat well tonight.
Why is the flagship store more expensive than the distributors?
Over here! Over here!
Always the best.
Mr. Yang and I watched the whole thing on the screen. Not only did you assemble the Mechatron and give autographs to your fan, but you also got to live out your superhero fantasy. Did you have fun? Mr. Yang's looking at you with such loving eyes, like a parent watching a kid riding on a carousel at an amusement park.
Indeed. Seeing her so happy reminds me of my younger self. Those were the days.
What are you talking about? Mr. Yang, you're still as young as ever. Oh, right. We've been wandering around here for ages and seen everything there is to see. What's this Madame Pearl really up to?
I understand everything she wanted to show us. There are just a few questions I'd like to confirm with Miss Nihilux.
Miss Nihilux? Wait, where did she go?
Ah, there you all are. We've been looking everywhere for you. The Secretary's office sent Agent Feld here to keep you company while you wait, but he said he couldn't find any of you.
Wait, if Mr. Feld is the one who's supposed to meet us, then who is Miss Nihilux?
Miss Nihilux? Who?
Agent Nihilux, an IPC ranking P30 who works at Perlux Corp's Imagenesis Technology Department.
P30? Imagenesis Technology Department? Since when did Perlux Corp have an Imagenesis Technology Department?
Could she be some kind of corporate spy who snuck into the building? Oh, this is a real mess. What are those security guards even doing? Distinguished guests, are you hurt? Or did she trick you into giving her money or anything like that?
Why didn't you say so earlier? This lady seemed totally legit. She smoothly guided us around the place like a pro. I thought she was one of your people.
I need to report this to security right away. She can't have gone far. Let's catch her in the act.
Thank you for your help. Astral Express crew, Madame Pearl has been waiting for quite some time. If it's convenient, shall we head out now? I'll show you the way. Please inform Madame Pearl that the 3 guests from the Express will arrive shortly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Pearl demonstrated the full process of creating a Mechatron army, based on what I saw.
Hello, guests from the Astral Express. Nice to see you again.
Thank you for your gracious hospitality, Madam Pearl.
I understand there was a minor incident in the lower lobby involving someone impersonating a Pearl-Lux employee. I hope it didn't spoil your enjoyment.
We're fine. Don't worry about us. But how are things with you? Did you lose any valuable tech? Blueprints? Or top-secret information?
No, Pearl-Lux's data firewall remains untouched, and all assets under security network surveillance are intact. The only change is an additional expense claim under my employee ID. Never mind. I can make a preliminary assessment that this was the result of someone's momentary impulse. Lately, mishaps have been piling up, like dark clouds before a downpour, casting shadows of uncertainty over my plans.
Could you be referring to the Herald of Death?
33 citizens were found dead in the Dovebrook district. In addition, an IPC specialist assigned to negotiate the purchase of a Mask of Elation died in an unexpected incident. This party has made overt threats to public order and is clearly challenging the IPC. My intuition tells me this is only the beginning. Managing capital and managing a corporation share one thing in common. That is, an aversion to risk and a pursuit of stability. And I bear both responsibilities. As the executive officer of Planarcadia, I bear an inescapable responsibility for the safety of this world. As one of the 10 Stonehearts, I hope to bring the Phantasmoon Games to a swift and safe conclusion. Rather than staging another dangerous battle, like what happened at Graphia Academy, I hope the supplicants can show the people of this world miracles of joy and happiness, instead of sorrow and rage during the Phantasmoon Games. Therefore, I'd like to hear the Express's request. Trailblazer, please, tell me. What's your ultimate goal for joining the Phantasmoon Games?
You mentioned earlier that you wanted to talk about the Phantasmoon Games with me?
I'd like to talk about our ultimate goal for participating in the Phantasmoon Games.
Huh. Got something in mind?
I think the rules and rewards for the Phantasmoon Games are a little too vague.
That's exactly what I thought when I joined the games 15 years ago. These games allow supplicants to do anything, good or evil. As a result, everything that unfolds in the course of these games exists beyond control. What's more vague is what can winners do when they share the power of the elation. According to legends and historical records from Ahatopia, victors typically first witness the manifestation of Aha themselves. They listen to the victor's wishes and grant them permission to use their power. And the applications of this power seem to be boundlessly vast. When faced with countless choices, the situation becomes even more thorny than having no choice at all. Sometimes I wonder, if we had agreed to become the leader of the Anti-Destruction Alliance, how would this trip have turned out?
If I win, I'll give up sharing Aha's power and ask them to be the leader of the Anti-Destruction Alliance.
That's such a hilarious idea. I can totally picture it. I get it. That's actually a brilliant idea. To begin with, this is far more meaningful than taking up a god's authority and squandering it freely for a single minute. Secondly, placing an Eon on the righteous cause of opposing the universe's greatest threat is something neither the IPC nor the god itself could reasonably object to. Finally, this would also help us avoid the risk we currently face. Cooperating with the IPC while remaining wary of being drawn into its ambitions during the operation of the Anti-Destruction Alliance. If we handle the negotiations well, perhaps Aha could stand behind the Astral Express. Just like our cooperation with the Xianzhou, where we could maintain distance from one another while offering support from afar. The only question is, will Aha agree?
Don't worry about that. From what I know about them, they'll agree. What kind of god of games would they be if they broke their own rules? Besides, they still owe the Express a debt. This is their IOU for the Express debt from when they were traveling with Akavilli, complete with their signature and seal. Passenger, use this to blackmail them. That one will definitely give in to your demands. Probably.
So, you're saying you want Aha to take on the leadership of the Anti-Destruction Alliance? Logical extrapolation. Failed. Success rate indeterminable. This peculiar proposal nearly brought my thought process to a halt. This request is far too lacking in structure, yet within an irrational context, it seems to conceal a certain kind of logic. If the universe is the master of Elation's playground, then they should do something about this playground that's about to be destroyed. As expected of the Trailblazer, your thinking is so out of the box. I've learned something today. However, I don't think you stand much of a chance in the games, because I've joined as a supplicant. This is an age-old question. Do Intellitrons possess a soul? The mask responded to me, which means the Elation has acknowledged that Intellitrons also have the potential to seek pleasure. And I am perhaps the first Intellitron supplicant in the history of the Phantasmoon games.
Planarcadia's administrator is a supplicant?
At the same time, she has at her disposal assets of staggering magnitude. What, Perlux Corp among them.
With money and power on her side, Wouldn't her chances of success be way higher than ours?
As I previously proposed to Miss Himiko, I'm willing to cooperate with the Astral Express to ensure the smooth progression of the Phantom Moon Games.
But the Astral Express isn't your only partner, is it?
I have 2 other allies. However, you all are my most promising ones. Once the Astral Express joins, it will maximize the safety and success of this Ionic game, and I will do everything in my power to fulfill my partner's wishes within that limited minute.
As we told you before, our strategy is to become a sail, advance and retreat together. The Astral Express is not a lone supplicant, since we have our own allies in the games.
An ally like Sparksy? It's true that you defeated her and took her mask, but given her typical decision-making style, Sparksy isn't exactly what you'd call a reliable ally. Hypothesis. The Sinwish Syndicate's missing mask. I thought it fell into the Cienjo's hands. Don't tell me. Yao Guang gave it to you guys?
That's right. 3 against 3. We're tied at the moment.
With this new variable in play, I'll have to adjust my extrapolations. But the conclusion seems unchanged. After all, as the administrator of this world, I have the natural advantage in resources.
An IPC senior executive, Planarcadia's administrator, a member of the 10 Stonehearts, joining the games personally. It certainly has an intimidating ring to it. But when you think about it, isn't this identity precisely the greatest burden Madame Pearl has to overcome?
She's right. Your identity is far too sensitive. You want to control these games and end it safely and quickly. But Planarcadia's citizens might not see it this way. All they see is the all-powerful IPC and an influential executive pulling all the strings. Your every action will be scrutinized twice over.
A sharp observation, I must say. Quite impressive.
But I do not believe you yourself would overlook this. Madame Pearl, what is it that you seek to obtain from the Phantom Moon Games at any cost?
What I seek is a treasure lost to this world's history. I want to recreate Graphia's divine art of imagenesis.
Does that have something to do with painting?
Hard to believe, no? My birth originated from the theme assigned by the celestial differentiator of planet Scrulum. Art. At first, I was nothing more than a machine that imitated human paintings. For an Intellitron, generating works of art is no great challenge. Day after day, I studied. Day after day, I exhausted every possibility. I could instantly analyze the proportional structure and pigment composition of any painting. I could precisely reproduce every pixel of Graphia's masterpieces. Yet I could not create as she did. Graphia's ultimate creation was establishing the world in canvas at the end of the Phantom Moon Games. I want to understand her thoughts at that moment and touch the essence of creation.
Is this your personal pursuit? Or the IPC's demands on this world?
Both. The IPC's point of view is far more pragmatic. The world in canvas is a dimension that can shield us from the Antimatter Legion's warfare, and they've always been eager to master this technology.
Unfortunately, it seems we can't convince each other to back out for now.
Then, I have another proposal. Why don't we shift our perspective and turn our attention to those two supplicants who haven't surfaced yet? These two individuals' objectives are unclear, and their abilities remain a mystery. If left unchecked, we might see a repeat of the Herald of Death tragedy. I have a cooperation proposal that could help us gather intelligence on them, and I'm willing to share this piece of information with you all. A tiny sliver of your reputation. Before we move on to the details of our cooperation, would you like to take a short break and have some tea to wet your whistles? Or shall we continue? I've prepared some refreshments for you. Please, help yourself.